Hi, everybody. Happy Wednesday to everyone. Come on in. Happy Wednesday. Authority Wednesday. Authority Wednesday. Are you ready? Are you ready? Hey, Willa. Hey, Will. No, it's Will. Hey, Will. How are you? Welcome. Happy Wednesday to you. No Weapon Apostle. Hello. Welcome. Elmer. Hello. Hey, Katie. El Gallo. Negro. Aunt is here. Wonderful. You guys come on in. Let me know where you're chiming in from as well. It's too much. Okay. Thank you. Hey, Betty. Hi, Jay. Welcome, welcome. Happy Wednesday. Hi, William. Marie Jean is here. Marie Jean is here today. Yes. Hello, Awa. Hello, Awa. Welcome in. Come on in. Come on in. Hey, Flex. How you doing today, darling? Nice to have you here today. Nice to have you here today. Yes. Arlotti, Nellie is here. Welcome. Dame Tour is here. You guys, let me know where you're chiming in from. You guys, we're talking about authority. You're not following direction. Let me know where you're chiming in from. Yes, let me know where you're chiming in from. Hey, Kevin. Let's see. Do that. Amber Lynn. Hey, Cupcake. Amber Lynn and Cupcake are here. And is it Dot Chapman or Dot C? Hello. Welcome, welcome. Lovita is here. Eddie Liz. Hello. Wow, I got some flow. The flow is coming in today. Yes, you guys are ready. I feel it. I got a lot of leaders here. Hey, Kathy. How you doing? Welcome in. Welcome in today. Total Buns is here today as well. Oh, how fantastic. You guys, welcome in. Whether you are watching me here live at this moment or you're watching me on some other platform, another place, at another time, just know that the message that you're receiving is meant for you as you receive it. And I welcome you and I'm so grateful that you're here with me today. Yes. So today is Authority Wednesday. And before we get started, let me just first introduce myself. I am Coach T. Trace is my name, but Coach T is what you guys can call me. And I am an identity and prosperity mentor. Where I have transitioned and moved into is I am now working with women over 40, but really over 50, remove themselves from that outdated identity so that they can ground in that new prosperity, fulfillment, authority, and visibility without abandoning who she really truly is. Now, with that being said, if you do not fall under that category, that age category, that's totally fine because I believe that messages are for everyone, right? So if you find something within this broadcast that you can apply to your life that will enhance it and enhance the lives of others, then by all means take it. Okay, take it. And also, this also could help you better understand and overstand your parents, and those around you that are in that age, right? That golden age, right? Quite different from what we used to look like in our 40s and our 50s now, right? Going into our 60s beautifully. So today we are talking, a little bit more. Thank you, Rebecca and Blooming Blessing and Send Will. Jenny Aguilar is here, Element oh 06. Thank you guys for being here. Also to let you guys know, this is the room and the space is a very sacred container and it is for us all. I want you all to feel comfortable, in this space, comfortable to speak, comfortable to share, comfortable to ask questions, and comfortable to receive. With that being said, make certain that we are respectful to everyone in the space. No name calling, no judgment and what have you. This is a coaching experience. So if you have something that comes up, and sometimes something may come up in the broadcast and I will coach it on the spot. It's not about putting anyone on blast, but it's about this is an opportunity for us all to learn and grow, right? We're here to expand. We're here to elevate. Yes. So anyway, today, the framework for this mentorship is based upon 5 pillars, right? So on Monday we step into identity. Tuesday we examine prosperity, and Wednesday we move into authority and what that truly means. Now, before we actually get into the stimulating conversation, I'm going to do a vibe check first, right? How are you vibing today? What's your vibe like? What are you bringing into the space? I'm an energy person, so we want some wonderful energy. And even if it's not great, hey Malcolm, even if it's not wonderful right now, it's going to be great when you leave here. Just know that. Sister Chantel, hello. Hello. Hey Devin. Hey, love. Nice to have you all here today. I feel so incredible. This room it just feels so good. Put some hearts up. I need some hearts up on that screen. Throw some hearts up on the screen. So today we're talking about authority, the science of spirituality, and of owning your voice. Because there is, both sides to the coin here, right? So we're going to be talking about that. And the core premise of this conversation is authority is not something that you perform. It is something that you embody. So that's something that we're going to really, really dive deeper into, because I think nowadays that people sort of misconstrue the idea and concept of authority. So whenever there's someone that gets a promotion, a raise or whatever, or promotion, they become happy. Yes. But it's like, how do they have the identity that fits into this new role? Are they really walking into it really well? That's what is your authority authentic? Or are you turning into something else? Sometimes we do things and we're walking around and saying and behaving, and unknowingly we are causing ourselves harm. So we're also going to be doing some language shifting today as well. In fact, every pillar that we do explore further, we're going to be shifting. We're going to be shifting. So you may be saying something right now today that although you are in a role of authority, you're not really fully grounded or anchored into it. We're going to shift that. We're going to shift that. Hey, Holden. Hi, Ray Chavez. How are you? Hi, Site. You guys, let me know where you're chiming in from. Are you ready to go? Let's roll. So first of all, let's talk about permission. The opening question is this: where in your life are you still waiting for permission to fully become who you already are? Or who is that? Where in your life are you still waiting for that permission to fully become what you already are? A lot of us are walking around, and especially in our 40s and 50s, because we're coming from a different time frame. We're still young and vibrant enough to vibe and rock with, the current generation. However, we're still coming out of that phase where we are growing into that space where it's like, you know what, I can make choices. I can make decisions. I don't have to stay in the same role forever and ever. I can, once I reach 50, I can switch it up and create and build and be something new, because I am that individual. I just need to meet them. I just need to meet that person, right? That's where we are right now. So sit with that. I want you to sit with that. And then here's the thing to understand about authority. Authority is not dominance. It's not being the loudest person in the room. It's not. It's not proving that you're right. That has nothing to do with the situation. In fact, authority is actually quite quiet. It's the ability to remain connected to your own knowing while being witnessed by others. Notice there's a difference between I need to have attention, I need to have dictatorship. It's different from, listen, I have the ability to remain connected to my own knowing while I'm being witnessed by others. It's a soft space to land in, but really quite powerful. And today's conversation is really about what happens when your nervous system, your identity, your language, and your spiritual connection are all beginning to tell the same story. So you have perfect alignment. Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. That is the greatest gift right there. Complete, total, perfect alignment. Now, let's get into the science of this. Science is like, what happens when you stop second guessing yourself? So let's talk about the brain. Now, the brain is always constantly predicting, right? And your brain doesn't know how to react to life. It really doesn't know how to react to life. It just uses the previous experiences to predict what may happen next. That's all that it is. So that fear, that when that your stomach jumbles and whatnot, you're just not quite certain. That's what it is. You're basing it on some past experiences, and you're pulling that into your current experience, expecting the same outcome, while praying and begging for a different outcome. So now you see why everything was like all confusing. It's time to bring it in. That's what we're doing today. So that means that repeated experiences of rejection, criticism, being dismissed, over explaining, seeking approval. Yeah. All those things, shrinking yourself. So they can condition you to anticipate that being fully expressed is unsafe. And I can tell you that that was exactly where I was. You guys, this framework is created and built upon, based on my own personal growth, what I experienced through my own coaching journey, moving through, navigating through life and life's ups and downs, because we get, when we're brought up to fully just focus on the ups, we are there all the time, but we have to, what happens when the up is down? And the beautiful thing, not hiding from my true self, I love that. The beautiful thing is that's actually when you really find yourself, on the down, not the up. The up is when you get to celebrate yourself, but the down is when you get to find yourself. You have to find what you celebrate. Forever student, keep yourself up. I love that. I love that. So to really 24/7, I love it, baby. This is something that it is a daily practice. And that is why it is something that it can be so lovely for you if you allow it to be. It is a daily practice. This isn't a one-hitter quitter. You just get in there. It's like, oh, I'm done. I just know it. No, this is something that must occur every single day. And so with that being the case, that also means that it may require some dismantling. There's going to be quite a bit of dismantling within your life structure. Firstly, it's going to be with you. You're going to speak differently, right? You're going to speak differently. You're going to receive differently. You're going to demand and command differently, and never beating yourself up, because it's a process. So don't beat yourself. A lot of people go, oh, I want to be where you are right now. Well, yes. Guess what? I was that person too. When I was watching and listening to some of the thought leaders that I've been following for 25 plus years, that's exactly what I wanted to be. I want to be like that. I want to know what they know. I want to be able to help as many people as possible. It started when I was a child. I want to be like my granddad, who had so much wisdom. I wanted to be wise like my granddaddy, because I'm able to contribute to the world that way and walk in authority. That was one man who walked in authority. Yes. So language shifting. Instead of asking like, why am I so insecure? Why am I insecure? Why don't you ask, what has my system learned to anticipate? Because see, we receive the answers to every questions. Yeah, put it to work. We receive the answers to every question, but how are we asking? Because it's really all about that. How the question is posed. How the question is posed. Because The first question, why am I so insecure? Well, why are you insecure? But to follow that, what has my system learned to anticipate? So that is something that's something that's proactive. That's a vent right there. That's something that can be transmuted, not fixed. Transmuted. We don't fix anything around here. We transmute. We take all energy. Yes, baby. We take all energy and we transmute it because all energy is valuable. Yes, honey. All energy is valuable. It's what you extract from it, right? If someone is pissed off in front of me, rather than joining them and being pissed off, I'm going to snatch that anger and I'm going to compound the love and everything I got going on, because that's going to bump me up higher and higher. I'm going to use it for the greater good. That's what's up. That's what's up. Yes, that is what's up. So let me just give me a moment, guys, while I have to go into another set of notes. So just give me a moment, just one moment. Things got a little jumbled, but that's okay because we're all good. Okay. Just want to make certain because this is a juicy day. Okay. Now, here's a different conversation. Attention strengthens what we repeatedly practice, what we were just talking about. So that's like similar to what, like affirmations and such. And this is why saying them, repeating them constantly, daily, throughout the day, it's not about you repeating a lie or a mistruth or something like that. What you are doing is that you are training your subconscious to shift. You are planting this information in your subconscious because your subconscious is ruling. It's like an undercurrent that's ruling. It's like a program that's running in the background. Wherever your mind goes, energy flows. Yes, forever student. I love it. You are bringing the fire today, my love. Yes, the brain is capable of changing through experience and repetition. So when you make practice like making decisions, speaking clearly, those are some things. Tolerating disagreements, receiving visibility, and keeping promises to yourself. You aren't just simply thinking positively, you're practicing a different response pattern. That's what it really is. It's a different way to respond. And you are retraining yourself to respond a different way. That's also going to fall into identity a little bit as well, because you have to become the identity of the person that you're shifting into that's going to carry out all of this. That's the one thing that a lot of people don't really talk about. So authority becomes behavioral. Captain of your own ship is your culture to speak, baby. Crew. Yes, I love it. I love it. I love it. Regulations changes how you show up. Regulation is definitely key. Regulation is really what began this mentorship. It is the purpose behind this mentorship. When we are experiencing different shifts in life, whether that be good or bad, that also affects our nervous system. Yes? Our nervous system rules everything. Because we hear all the time, I'm stressed, I'm stressed, I'm stressed, I'm stressed. That is, your nervous system is off balance, is what that is. So let's look at as why that is occurring. Why is your nervous system off balance? Well, anxiety, you got so much stuff on your mind. You don't know if you're coming or going. Well, you know what? Especially when you get older, it affects you. It raises your cortisol. That starts to break you down. So that had to be put in check. That's also, your body is missing, is low in your B vitamins, like your B12 and your B9 is low. Your body is sending a signal. As we age, our body is going to be required to have our minerals. That's like a non-negotiable, ain't no negotiating that. Non-negotiable. You must have all of your daily minerals, all the requirements. You got to have everything that's necessary. And the fiber. We have to have it to keep ourselves moving and flowing. We have to have that. And our minds has to be pliable. Must be. Regulation, again, changes how you show up. When you are calm and relaxed, and I understand that there are life situations that will send you, that is designed actually to disrupt you. But in that disruption, that is when you're finding yourself. That is how you're able to really work with your nervous system. I don't care if you're a woman or a man or child. Everyone deserves to have a regulated nervous system. And when you're not regulated, you won't know until you become regulated. How about that? Bye, my love, and thank you so much for your wonderful engagement and participation. Thank you so much. Have a stellar day. Yes, have a stellar day. So when you are highly activated, your attention can be consumed with threat, approval, rejection, or consequences. That's when you are your subject. When your regulation is off and you're activated, you're actually open to energies that's going to match that. Exactly what we don't really want. So authority requires enough internal position to ask, like, what do I actually think? It has to be strong enough to ask that question. What do I actually think? Instead of asking, what will everyone else think? What will everyone else think of me? What will everyone else think of this situation? Bump that. What do I actually think? That is when you're really walking in power. And that's something, if you're not there today, that's fine, because you're going to grow into that. You're going to grow to that. But just understand that is your path. We have to pose the correct questions, because we will then receive the answers that are the most beneficial for us. Because there's a multitude of answers to every one question. But we want to, like, when you're walking in all the pillars, when you're walking in authority, doggone it, you're going to walk in authority. And it will be pure and unquestioned. Right? So now let us get into the spiritual side of it. So science can show us what happens in the brain and the nervous system, but spirituality will ask us a different question. Who are you beneath the conditioning? That's when it gets real. The science is not the real part. It's the spirituality that is the deep part. That's the deeper question. That's what I think. Just show me. I know how my brain operates, and I know how my nervous system operates. However, the bigger question is, who am I beneath the conditioning? What am I becoming? Who am I being introduced to? What am I being introduced to? Which aspect of myself? So we're exploring authority as alignment rather than superiority. Right? So it's like bringing it back down again. It's like bring it on down. Bring it on down. Authority does not require you to believe. It doesn't require you to believe things like, I'm better than you. It allows you to know that I'm responsible for what I know and what I choose and what I am here to embody. That's what authority means. So when someone walks into a room and commands the space, don't look away. Don't be upset. Don't even shy away. Just understand what position that person is walking in. They are walking in the knowingness, not believing. When you are in authority, you have gone past that believing stage. You are now in the knowing stage. And that can ruffle some doggone feathers. But hey, cockle-doodle-doo. You know, you don't have to be quiet. You don't have to shrink down and what have you. No, no. Now it's time. Even like right now, if like where you are in life, if you're not receiving what you choose to receive, then perhaps life is waiting for you to create it. So walk in your authority to create. Ego says, I need you to recognize my power, whereas your inner authority says, I don't need recognition to know what I know. That's power. Because people like look at you like crazy, like, why is this person so poised? Why? It's because of the knowingness. It's the shift. That's the transformation. That's where your visibility becomes powerful. You don't become visible to prove your worth. You become visible because hiding is no longer congruent with who you've become. It's no longer. It's just not possible. Honey, listen, when it's time to pop out, it's time to pop out. So if anything, it's like, honey, I used to say, I'm passing out my sunglasses. I'm like, now, honey, I hope you have them. Because I'm not, the blindness is not my fault. Right? We're going from permission to position. We don't ask for permission any longer. No. Permission is not what's being requested, but the positions being stated. Your language often reveals the position from which you're living. So let's look at some phrases like your permission languages. This is like so if you have a piece of paper right now, I want you to make a list that says permission language. Like, I think, maybe, I don't know if this makes sense. I'm probably wrong, but if it's okay, there's no power in that. I just wanted to. Sorry, but let's shift that language. You ready? So that's out. None of that permission. We're not doing that permissive stuff. You're not asking for. It's simply I'll have. Right? I even want you to practice this if you happen to go to, I don't know if you buy coffee out, and I don't know where your favorite coffee place is, but instead of saying, may I have, no, I'll have whatever. Whatever it is that you want to order, I'll have. I'm not asking you if I can have anything, because I can have whatever I choose. Right? That's how you got to walk in. That's how you got to, come on now. So instead of, I think this is what we should do, say, this is what I recommend. Instead of, I don't know if this makes sense, say, let me explain the way I see it. Instead of, I'm sorry to bother you, say, I wanted to connect with you about. This is walking in authority, you guys. Instead of, maybe I should, say, I've decided to. Or I just wanted to share, I want to share something with you. Do you notice? Even as you speak these out, right? In this, the next section, these are what you're going to change your language to. This is something that is a daily practice, guys. Even for myself, it's still a daily practice. Do you know how many years we have been taught to say different things, phrases, words, and what have you, when we had no idea? But now with the power of intention, we're shifting. We're making lots of shifts. And we're understanding the accountability that we have. So I'm going to ask you a question. I want you to focus on one of those questions that that was coming from a space of uncertainty, and I want you to shift that around. Okay, I want you to shift it around in a way that you're going to bring power into it. And here's your question: what would this sound like if you trusted yourself 20% more? Just 20% more. What would this sound like if you trusted yourself 20% more? It doesn't even have to be a whole 100%. It really doesn't. It doesn't have to be a whole 100%. Just 20%. What would that look like for you? How would that feel? How would that feel for you? You guys, I some hearts. Get some hearts on the screen. You guys have received a lot of information today. A lot of information. Hey, Chopper Shop, how you doing? Thank you so much for the gift. Thank you for the heart me. Appreciate it. You guys, make sure that you're picking up your hearts. Also, your daily heart me at the top, okay? And also make certain that that you're connecting with each other. Yeah, what would that look like with just 20%? Not even 100%. What would that look like? Because your next era is going to require a different relationship with your own authority. Not louder, not harder, but deeper. A lot deeper. So are you ready for that? That's the thing right there. It's not that's occurring. Oftentimes it's deep. And we haven't asked ourselves those questions before. We've kept it on the light. We've been really light with ourselves. Everyone is like, so it's like we've gone beyond this political correctness, where now it's just ultra like sensitive. You got to walk on eggshells. No, there is no growth in that. There's absolutely no growth in that. There's no way. No, there is no growth in that. There's absolutely no growth in that. There's no way. We even have to challenge, even to really fully, really understand and overstand authority. We must deepen ourselves in it. We must engage deeper. I don't know. We kind of went in and out a little bit. I don't know if we lost each other or not, but hopefully you're still here. Now, you also, for those that are here, I want to just take a quick break to share some things with you. Just what I just received and what I am reviewing. I'm going to provide a full review probably to the next 2 days or so. I'm going to give you a full review, but I always like to introduce my audience to what I have just received and what I am reviewing. And oftentimes, like every day, I'm always getting a comment about my skin and what have you. Everyone wants to know what I use on my skin. And so anyway, I am excited. I received this today. And not today, but a couple days ago, I received this. And this here, if you have never heard of a glowy skin booster before, bubble booster, this is it. And it has the PDRN in it, which is fantastic. That's salmon. So anyone in the skincare world, this is a stem cell of salmon that is utilized to plump and firm the skin, right? So this one here, it kind of acts like, when you do your laundry and you have that Oxy booster, right? It's like a booster for the skin. So number one is like a bubble. It's like really bubbly. And it's so silky. I really, really enjoy it. If you don't really want something heavy on your skin, look at that. Isn't that nice? If you don't want something heavy to hydrate, this is so wonderful. This is by the brand Returnity, and it's Korean skin. So nice. I am enjoying it so far. Like I really didn't even want to put foundation on today, and I really didn't. I added Fenty skin tint because I didn't want anything on today because it just feels so incredibly good. And then also I have been feeling great because I have also been using the Clean Nutra Women's Creatine. This has collagen and in it, and iron and biotin, hyaluronic acid, keep my skin and my hair nice and hydrated. Nails, so you can already see. Like I keep my nails cut low, but my nails already are popping out. So I'm just going to let them continue to grow. You guys are going to watch this as I just let them grow because I'm not doing treatments right now. I'm doing digitally. Digitally, I'm working, but not in the physical sense, right? So, anyway, this is wonderful. I love the flavor so far. It's a delightful, refreshing orange flavor. Very easy to take, to utilize, and but I'll have a full review for you guys again in about 2 days. But this here is also available, and what I did is I pinned them down below for you guys as well. So if you're interested in them, you know you can already get a jump start on using the products because they are fantastic. So I'm getting lots and lots coming in, and I'm having a wonderful time with this as well because I'm also watching myself. Um, I'm also watching myself grow and expand. I'm also watching myself become more and more. I'm also, watching myself like become completely unbothered by negative comments, negative people, because I understand that, hurt people hurt other people. What I do know is what has been created in this space, in this wonderful space, is this is a space of pure agape love and acceptance, right? And this is a sacred container. It's a sacred container. So I want everyone to feel comfortable in this space. And we're going to ignore everything else. What the conversation is pertaining to is authority, in particular, your authority. So what someone else does or how someone else behaves is not our business or our concern, is what I will say. So that's me walking in my authority. So the topics, the topics have to do with your authority. And the question, since I'm asking the question is, you know, what what about trusting yourself? Are you the person that you need to be to trust yourself completely, at least 20% more than what you do right now? Do you trust yourself? Do you give yourself 20% of you that you fully trust? So rather than worrying about what someone else is doing and what someone else's behavior is that you can't do anything about, my love, focus on what's concerning you, what that you can control, that focus. You got to focus. You got to focus. You too, pumpkin, you little child. You can say whatever. See, that type of stuff is. Mm-mm. You know what's interesting? There's a story behind that. There's a story behind that. Um, the term is negus. That's what it's really called. It's negus. And the illiterate people that couldn't really speak well, that were illiterate, added the ER to the end because that's the best that they could do. But I'm going to tell you what that means, my darling. What that means is actual royalty, right? So that's what it really means. And just know, sweetie, you don't have the capacity to really bother anybody. You don't. You don't. So you go on, little child, and you go on somewhere and you have yourself a good day. And next time, like I said, bow down, have the basket with the rose petals available next time, if that's what you're going to do. So anyway, we get rid of that stuff. Yeah. And you know what, darling? And yes. Bye. You know what's interesting though? What's interesting is you got to go into rooms, right? You got to stop. You got to pause. And you got to sit there and type, right? You got to sit there and type. Why they say that? Child, honey, do we care? The person, the child is hurt. And so you come into a space of love and vibrancy and good energy and high vibes and all that. And you just wanted to come and get a little something. Wanted to test just how real it was. But things that don't matter don't matter. Things that don't matter don't matter. When you're walking in authority, see, that's leadership, right? So a leader is not distracted. You hire folks to handle stuff like that. You don't concern yourself with that. That is like, are you kidding? You think that's the first time that somebody has heard something like that? So again, and here's the thing. I will tell you 100% that in someone's face of an indigenous person, they wouldn't even say anything. That's the most fearful one right there. Those are the ones that are the most fearful. But you know what? Oh, thank you, darling. But you know what that did? See, again, you see how how spirit was able to come into here and turn something that was intended to be negative to actually be good, because there's a lesson in this. There's a lesson in this. There was a point in time where I may not have responded the way that I'm responding right now. But listen, I say when it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. And when you get in your 50s, Charlie, honey, it's the effort 50s. We don't care about the small things. That's a child. So yes, so we just send him some good energy, some positive energy, honey, that he aligns with the truth of what he really is. And that's love. He just has to be reminded. He doesn't know. He doesn't know. But he ain't affecting nothing. He ain't doing nothing, right? But guess what we were able to do? Glorify. Speak out. Use the power of the tongue. And still and be in authority, walk in my grace, right? And still remain poised. That was my work to do. So that there was like a little exam. Thank you, sweetheart. I tell you guys this. Your next era is going to require a different relationship with your own authority, and not a louder one, not a harder one, but a much deeper one. So I'm inviting you all to come back, to return on Thursday, because Thursday is all about nervous system and regulation. That's the conversation that we have on Thursdays. But the final question that I have for you today before we do sign off on this broadcast is, what would change in your life if you stopped asking for permission to be what you've already become? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because, baby, you ain't putting 11s right here. You feel me? Oh, no. You're not. Boo, this would be 60, honey. March 1st. You're not disrupting this. Lies, honey. And that's on the natural. Okay? God's love and grace is good for the face. That's the Trey Squad quote right there. That's God's love and grace is good for the face. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. Even like with situations like that, I'm so grateful for the mind and the mind that I have, the heart that I hold. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful because if that's the best that you got, if that's the best that you have, darling, that power is in here, and I will that. I was granted stewardship over that, so I willed it well. I'm gonna steward it well. Yes, I am. Yes. So anyway, you guys, evolution is the decision, but elevation is the result. And we are here to focus on result. Okay. That is what is most important. It's the end result, which is the transformation, the transmutation of mind. Anchor in your power. Okay, I'll see you guys on Thursday. Don't forget to check out what the products at the bottom and go through the showcase because there's quite a lot of really fantastic items in there. There's lots of things coming up as well that I'll be reviewing and again sharing them. And I'm going to share them with you guys first. You're going to be the first to get all of the details. Okay, and then also I'll leave you with this here. If this conversation stimulated you in any sort of way in which you would like to go, 12:30, darling, 12:30 Monday through Friday. On Saturday it's a little bit more flexible, but Monday through Friday 12:30. Yes, yes. Also, if you would like to take this even further, right, and expand even further, we do have a new era reset, I do have express coaching sessions. I have the New Era Express. That's a 30-minute coaching session, and that is a wonderful way to kind of tap in, be introduced to the framework and also gain like an understanding of what it is that you want to transform and grow from. And I have these. I'm gonna set up 5. These are not coming around too often because of the schedule, but I want to make certain that we connect. So there's going to be 5 that's open. Now, normally that's $150, but for you guys, okay, my TikTok community, you guys are going to be able to get it for $97, or better yet, anyone that taps into this broadcast. And if they see it, $97, okay? You just have to put Next Era Express. So I want you to send me a DM, not in this broadcast. When I do go off, and just go to my page, go to my DM, and send me a message. But it must include Next Era Express, and that is going to guarantee you the $97. And then from there, we're going to talk. Okay, I'm going to provide you all of the details on how we're going to move forward. Okay. So anyway, you guys have a beautiful day. You've been absolutely amazing. And also look out on YouTube as well, because we're starting to expand on YouTube and all that, but it's all due to you guys. So anyway, have an amazing day and walk in authority.